After a big win last night, the Atlanta Hawks are riding high. Yes, I'm true to Atlanta. I hope that you're doing the same. Listen, this is exciting. A big win last night versus the Brooklyn Nets, 120-116. And I'm more impressed with some of the lines that came from last night, man. A lot of the storylines that came from last night, and I'm here to talk about all of them because it is going to be major. What's going on, everybody? My name is Walter Pollard, and welcome to Atlanta Hawks Digest. We're going to dive right into everything. I got some highlights from last night. I definitely also got, man, some stats that I want to give to you guys because last night the Atlanta Hawks did what I expected them to do. I'm actually 2 points off. If you're listening, if you listen to yesterday's prediction. I had a prediction. I said it was going to be 122-106. Okay, Hawks scored 120. The Brooklyn Nets scored 116. And to be completely honest, it was a 2-point game going all the way into like the last few seconds. Trae Young, of course, hit the last 2 free throws, ending the game. The Atlanta Hawks walk away with the victory. And of course, we are all excited because it almost reminds me of how the crowd was first game of the preseason. Very excited. A lot of people just excited to see Zaccharie Risacher. And I know that I was excited too because he's had a pretty big game as well. We got to talk about him and what he's done. But really, just want to get into just certain points of the game that I feel as though was pleasing. You dig what I'm saying? And hopefully the Atlanta Hawks are starting fast, staying fast, and finishing strong this season. I definitely know that they started fast with a one. They're 1-0 right now. You know what I'm saying? They definitely got a big win versus the Brooklyn Nets, man. But I was just so more impressed with the team basketball, mainly because everybody got involved. Everybody got a piece of it, and Trae Young was not the only one flexing. Look at this, guys. Look, this is when I'm excited more so for that. When the guys are smiling, when they are flexing, when they're showing that they are the, you know what I'm saying, they the bee's knees, you know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. I do understand that the Eastern Conference Finals has gotten tremendously more difficult. Not only just that, but the Brooklyn Nets, they also, offloaded, some key pieces to their team. So both the Atlanta Hawks and the Nets are looking different this season. But my point is that the Atlanta Hawks seem to be, again, like they came into they went into training camp. Let me be specific. They went into training camp, just seemed like it was more of a cohesive team unit. Come out of training camp, first game of the preseason is exciting. Last few games of the preseason, it seems like they were figuring things out. But one of the things that I kind of was caught off guard was the fact that Onyeka Okongwu, we didn't see him throughout the entire preseason. And now I'm starting to think that there was something behind it, mainly because Big O had a big night. Let's give him a round of applause, first of all. Okay, Onyeka Okongwu had a big night. Scored 28 points, man. First of all, let's stop right there, okay? My man had 28 points coming off the bench, and I want you guys to see a lot of what he was doing, mainly because, man, this guy was all over the place. Now, that, of course, was Clint Capela, but Onyeka Okongwu, he was everywhere. He was putting down dunks. My man had 8 rebounds, 3 blocks. He was 11 for 12 on field goals. So, again, very impressive with Onyeka Okongwu. Had a lot of dunks too. Just a lot of action and there's the block, of course. But he had a lot of action down low in the paint. You dig what I'm saying? A lot of lobs, a lot of just interior work, and that's what I feel as though the Atlanta Hawks, they're going to show everybody just how good they are in that area. Again, and using their bigs. Onyeka Okongwu had a really big night. And that was more impressive to me, just the fact that he did not play throughout the entire preseason. And I feel as though the Atlanta Hawks knew what they were going to do. They knew exactly what they were going to do. You dig what I'm saying? Going into the first game of the season. Now, let me not brush over everybody, okay? Let me not just, look past everyone else because, again, it was a lot of, just everybody was in on the action. DeAndre Hunter, 26 minutes, 12 points. Jalen Johnson, You dig what I'm saying? Even Jalen Johnson got in on the action, man. And of course, you saw Trae Young and Jalen just kind of flexing on the competition real quick. Let me show y'all again, because that just shows that these guys are confident. And that's what we want, is the confidence. We want to know that if they feel as though they go up against the 76ers, the Celtics, the Knicks, I want the Hawks to feel as though they can take on anybody. Clint Capela, of course, had 6 points in 20 minutes. Trae Young. Now, let's go into Trae Young, of course, because he had an awesome night again as well. 30 points on 7 for 16 field goals. Of course, he was 14 for 16 on free throws, 5 rebounds, and 12 assists. Trae is still being Trae. Trae is still being Trae, and I'm so excited for that. Here's why. Because if you've been following this page, you know that there's been rumors circulating around Trae Young, whether or not he's going to stay with the Hawks, or whether or not he can take the Hawks to a championship just by himself, or as the team is constructed right now. And with Trae doing what he is doing, and then not only that, everybody else getting in on the action, I was impressed. But that's not it. That's the best part about and of course you might see that I'm excited. You dig what I'm saying? Who wouldn't be excited? Your team gets the first win of the season, and in my honest opinion, that's what you need to do. Every week, go 1-0. Just go 1-0. And I know that's a football reference because you only have one game per week. So I want to say to the basketball guys, you know what I'm saying? Basketball, you play multiple times a week. Go 1-0 per game. You know what I'm saying? And not every time everybody's going to go undefeated. As a matter of fact, the last team that came close to going undefeated was, of course, the Golden State Warriors when they were in their prime. So we get it. We get it. I don't think any of the teams, as they're constructed right now, have the ability to go 1-0. I mean, go undefeated throughout the season, 82-0. But you got the first game out of 82. You got the first game out of 82, and I feel as though I am very impressed and more excited for that. But we got to talk about some of these Hawks debuts, because it was, oh my gosh, I was more enamored with the fact that these guys, of course, coming into new situations, and I'm talking about Dyson Daniels. We're talking about Lance, you know what I'm saying? Larry Nance, not Lance, Larry Nance. But we're looking at Larry Nance from the Pelicans, and we're looking at Dyson Daniels from the Pelicans, and we're looking at all these different players from the Pelicans. And first of all, let's get into it, man, because I can't prep you guys any more than what I've already seen, man. Dyson Daniels is a freaking unit. Okay, 34 minutes. My man had 34 minutes. He had 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 steals, and 1 block. And I've been talking about this. There's the block, of course. But I've been talking about this for the last 2 weeks, man. Dyson Daniels, his activity, how he is able to get in on those screens. If somebody feels as though they're turning the corner on him, he can poke it out from the backside, pause. And then on top of that, he's just really good in transition. Once he knows that and this is where, first of all, let me stop right quick. This is where Dyson Daniels had to stand up for themselves. I feel as though the Hawks are making their identity. And this is only one game, yes, but we're going off of how these guys plan for the season. Okay, Quin Snyder has already said what he's planned for the season. You dig what I'm saying? And let's go into it really quickly. Dyson Daniels had even said in a comment early, and this is the third time I brought this up, I have a big goal of trying to make first team all defense. NBA first team all defense. That's what he wants to do. So with all that being said, and yes, it was a very big win. Let me get these guys out of the way real quick. But it just was a big win. It was a really big win, and I was really impressed with the new guys. And I want to talk about the new guy. Well, we're talking about Zaccharie Risacher. And I hope this is a foreshadowing of his career. I hope that this is a foreshadowing of what we can expect to see from him, because, first shot of the game. Okay, Zaccharie Risacher from the 3, he drops it in. He can shoot, first of all. He can shoot. Let's not act like this kid can shoot. And I said before, he is NBA ready. He's shown you guys in the preseason how prepared he was. And I feel as though he's a great asset to Trae Young's. And he's been in there, man. He had a couple dunks last night. He actually finished the night with 7 points out of 19 minutes. I think he was, 2 for 4 on free throws, 1 for 4 on three-pointers, which was what you saw just now. Yes, it's only 7 points. It's not like it was in the preseason as far as the volume of points that he's making, but it's effective. He's effective. He's making the right decisions, and he's making the right basketball plays. And it's only left to be seen throughout the rest of the season how he's going to acclimate himself to the game, the pace, how quickly it moves. And we know this is to come. But the fact is, this guy looks comfortable. He looks comfortable. The Hawks look comfortable. Trae Young looks like he's settling in, and I hope that he plans on staying long term. This is a message to Landry Fields. Do not look to offload Trae Young. Don't try to send him anywhere. Keep him in town, because I want him to be here, first of all. But just how the team is constructed, it looks as if not only are the Hawks investing solely in Trae Young, but it feels like hopefully the investment is going to pay off. I feel as though the investment is going to pay off. And I feel as though going forward, Trae Young is definitely going to start to use his weapons as time goes on. He's going to use his weapons more often. Of course, with Dyson Daniels and Zaccharie Risacher, those guys are going to be used more often. They're going to see some major minutes, so definitely be on the lookout for that. To finish off some more people, Onyeka Okongwu, of course, he had 28, and he, of course, was coming off the bench. Bogdan Bogdanović, I got to say his name correctly, Bogdan Bogdanović, 28 minutes off the bench. He had 8 points, of course. And yes, Dyson Daniels actually started in front of Bogdanović, which a lot of people speculated. We just didn't know whether or not he was going to start or be number 2 to Trae Young. But as you can see, he was a starter last night. And yes, Bogdan Bogdanović was nursing an injury, and he's coming back. So 28 minutes off of that is pretty extensive, but definitely excited to see how far these guys go. And then Vit Krejcicki, y'all got to help me with his name. Vit. I'll just say Vit. He had 11 minutes. He had 3 points. Of course, he was 1-1. 0 for 1 in 3-pointers. He was 1 for 1 as far as free throws. So really just overall big game for the Atlanta Hawks. Good game for the Atlanta Hawks, and I'm super excited. The next game we definitely got to look forward to. Friday night, 7:30, Hawks-Hornets. Hawks, I think the Hornets got to win at home. I want to say they did. So major shouts out to them. Ball is going to be in the building. I definitely want to see if Onyeka Okongwu can continue what he's doing. And again, Dyson Daniels, I feel as though he's definitely stated his case as far as being the number 1 man on the team. Oh my gosh, why does these things keep coming around? Anywho. But I feel as though he's definitely going to make his mark. But going forward, let me go ahead and bring this up really quickly so that you guys don't forget the 2024 Amorites Cup is vastly approaching. It is vastly approaching. Definitely want to make sure that you guys are paying attention, man. The first game, we're going to be taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. We will definitely be taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. So we want to make sure that these Atlanta Hawks, hopefully they can make a run for this. Let's start early. Let's start fast. Let's stay fast, and let's finish strong. What are your predictions on the season? Do you believe the Atlanta Hawks are going to make some noise this year? Do you feel as though the Atlanta Hawks are going to make some moves? Are they going to offload some people? Are they going to let Trae go? Are they going to keep him here? The season has started. I'm true to Atlanta, so I do feel as though Trae Young hopefully will stay this year. And from the looks of things, it looks like he's enjoying himself. So I hope that things do stay the same for the Atlanta Hawks and for Trae Young. But you let me know in the comments. Drop a comment down. Let me know what you feel, how the season will turn out. Do you think something's going to happen? Tell me in the comments and get back at me. I'm going to be here on the next episode, so make sure that you stick around for more updates for the Atlanta Hawks and going forward the rest of the season. Peace.